viewers, you're watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Amit Shah, and we get you a quick lineup of all that we have packed for you in this edition. It is one of the biggest scandals, viewers, that has hit Indian judiciary, and Republic TV is at the forefront with its coverage while others just follow. It's about the public faith in judiciary. It's about no one, not even part of judiciary, people who are part of judiciary being above the law. Now, a blaze at the Delhi High Court's judge exposes cash worth lakhs of rupees and he's only transferred. Is that enough? Well, there is nationwide criticism for that move of SC Collegium. Allahabad High Court is in no mood to welcome this corrupt judge in question. They fiercely counter the Supreme Court Collegium, and Republic gets you top voices from the legal world, the voices that matter. Also, there is zero tolerance towards terrorism. That's the big message being sent out by Amit Shah on terrorism and also on red terror. He makes a big announcement. He makes a vow against red terror as well in Rajya Sabha. We'll get you that also. Big development coming in the Disha Salyan murder mystery. There's trouble mounting for Aaditya Thackeray. Meanwhile, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar is in a soup. The opposition is now raising questions once again on his mental state. We'll get you why that's happening. Also, Karnataka honey trap bomb is only exploding. We have a high drama unfolding today in the assembly. And we will start right now, viewers, this edition with the biggest scandal that has hit Indian judiciary. It's an extraordinary development, shocking the judiciary, the legal fraternity, the entire country. Reports suggesting that large piles of cash were found after a blaze was reported at a Delhi High Court justice. We are talking about Justice Varma here, Justice Yashwant Varma under scrutiny for this. The cash was found when a fire brigade reached the judge's residence to douse the fire. He was not in his residence back then, as per reports. Now, when the fire personnel found the hoards of currency, they took pictures and videos of it, alerting their seniors. Ultimately, the matter was reported to the high-ups in the government, who in turn informed the Chief Justice of India, Justice Khanna. Now, reports suggest that Justice Varma was not in town when the fire broke out at his residence on the 14th of March. His family members called the fire and rescue services. The fire department, however, the report that we are running on your screens right now has no mention of the cash recovered. They have only mentioned that stationery has been recovered. Now, top jurist Harish Salve has spoken to our editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami on the matter. Listen in.
I want your first initial observations, Mr. Salve. Has the Collegium done the right thing by recommending his transfer? Matters also being picked up in Parliament right now. What should the Collegium have done? What was the appropriate thing to do?
Arnab, I have been a trenchant critic of this Collegium system, and this exposes yet one another strong fault line, if I may say so, in this whole construct by which our judiciary is administered. And let me tell you why. I caveat it by saying I have only seen the newspaper reports. And therefore, if there is an explanation, we haven't heard it. But we are therefore in a situation of allegations. Judges are Caesar's wives, and Caesar's wives have to be above suspicion. If they had found 50 crores or 20 crores in cash in your house, the ED would have been taking you into government accommodation right now. If they had found this kind of money with a civil servant, what would have happened? And worse, if they had found this kind of money with somebody in public life, a minister, what would have happened? So, if you had found this money with the Home Secretary or Finance Secretary, would you have transferred him into the Transport Department? Or would the Supreme Court have come cracking down on the executive government saying, are you joking with us? What are you doing? So the transfer is not a response which is acceptable. It also has another major problem. If a person is being transferred because you prima facie believe that there is something to be investigated, then by transferring him, you are shifting a problem from court A to court B. No court is a dustbin where you send people who are of questionable character. So this transfer business is completely unacceptable as far as I am concerned. But there is a precedent which could have been followed.
And we have some breaking news coming in right now, viewers. This is Supreme Court statement coming in right now. Big breaking news coming in on the biggest judicial scandal. Statement of Supreme Court on issue of Justice Yashwant Varma of Delhi High Court. And I quote the Supreme Court: there is misinformation and rumors being spread with regard to the incident at the residence of Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma. The proposal for transfer of Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma, who is the second senior most judge in the Delhi High Court and a member of the collegium, to his parent High Court, that is the High Court of Judicature at Allahabad, where he will be ninth in seniority, is independent and separate from the in-house inquiry procedure. In fact, for more on this, I just unquote and I straight away go across to Executive Editor for Legal Affairs, Rhythm Anand Bharadwaj. Rhythm, with the first statement coming in, finally we have the Supreme Court breaking its silence. What is it saying?
The first times ever that the Supreme Court issues a statement that is so clearly worded, but a statement that is trying to also say, once this uproar has been caused, where we are seeing that there's a sitting judge of the Delhi High Court on whom there has been unaccounted cash found, who's now been transferred to the Allahabad High Court. And there is an uproar because the transfer is not correct. The Supreme Court now says the collegium is going to re-examine the issue. The Supreme Court says, it gives a statement, and one of the first times that I'm seeing the Supreme Court issues a statement, obviously seeing the backlash that they've seen today, because everybody, all the courts in the country, and every lawyer that we are speaking with, every jurist we are speaking with, is aghast at the decision of the collegium to have transferred him to the Allahabad High Court. The Supreme Court has today said all responses that we have got from all the sides will be examined. That means that, of course, they've transferred him, but there will be another examination after going through the responses that they have got from judges of the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of the High Court, and also the concerned Justice Yashwant Varma. They've also said after all of this has been examined, a resolution should be passed by the then collegium. This is very relevant because after the story came out, our editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami had a very detailed Nation Wants to Know with top jurist of the country, Mr. Harish Salve, who said exactly this. First, there is a collegium sitting. Then there is a collegium that passes a transfer order. Then the collegium says, all right, now we're issuing a statement, and now we're also saying there'll be a resolution that will be passed after we examine all the sides. Harish Salve said there has to be an independent inquiry because there is a transfer that has been ordered by the collegium. On the basis of what it has been ordered, we are still not sure. Everyone in India, our faith in the judiciary has been eroded. We need to re-examine the facts of why this transfer took place when there is unaccounted wealth, seemingly of 15 crore, as the Allahabad Bar Association says, that has been found on Justice Varma. Is a transfer good enough? Like the Allahabad High Court said, we don't want to have any trash thrown to us. If there are corruption charges against a judge, why transfer him? Why not just tell him to abstain from judicial work when there is an inquiry? And why should that inquiry also be by the collegium? That inquiry should be an independent inquiry, which is what top jurist, former Solicitor General of India, Harish Salve, said. This statement by the Supreme Court, one of the first times that I have seen the Supreme Court come out with such a statement, is quite shocking. It's a one-page statement, and all it says is there is misinformation and rumors that are circulating. It then goes on to give details. It admits that on 20th March, the collegium sat in a meeting. It admits that there was an in-house inquiry procedure that could be there. It then goes on to say, letters have been written to all the concerned judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. And finally, it says responses received will be examined, and then the collegium will pass a resolution. Despite this one-page issuance of statement from the Supreme Court, the only question that the nation continues asking is why should the collegium be passing a resolution? Is there no independent inquiry that can take place here for the nation's faith to be restored in the judiciary?
Right, Rhythm, thank you so much for joining us with that breaking news that we have got, viewers. In fact, that's the question is being raised. Even the Allahabad High Court had opposed Justice Varma's transfer. They say that they do not want to welcome him. Allahabad High Court Bar Association was very fierce in its counter, opposing Justice Varma's repatriation as decided by the Supreme Court Collegium after the discovery of the money, and saying that we are not a trash bin. In fact, we have a guest joining us live on the broadcast on the same. We have former judge of Jammu and Kashmir High Court. We have Muzaffar Iqbal Khan joining us on Republic TV. We just got the Supreme Court breaking away from tradition and issuing a statement saying that his transfer has nothing to do with the in-house inquiry. There are two things, of course. The first, we see the pressure was mounting. There was nationwide backlash, voices from within the legal circles lashing against the move of the Supreme Court Collegium. And now Supreme Court issues a statement. They never do this, but they say that it has nothing to do with this. And secondly, the fact that it's an in-house inquiry, that is, of course, something that is again being raised and questioned, that why an in-house inquiry. So how do you react to this?
Let me correct you first that I am not a retired High Court judge. I'm a judicial officer who sought voluntarily retirement and then started practice in Supreme Court. I'm a Supreme Court lawyer and a sitting MLA right now. After setting this record straight, I must tell you that there is no procedure prescribed in the Constitution itself for holding an inquiry and for making accountable any judge of the High Court, because High Court is not subordinate to the Supreme Court. They cannot take any disciplinary action. The Supreme Court judges are helpless. There is only way which is provided in the Constitution, that is the impeachment. And that too is a very cumbersome process. You must have heard of a past impeachment which was initiated against one of the sitting judge of the High Court. He resigned, impeachment was withdrawn, and he resigned himself. It is such a cumbersome process. It requires a strength of the member parliaments to even to initiate this impeachment. 50 judges has to be there. They must sign first the impeachment motion. Only then it can be moved. So these are the constitutional protections to the judges of the Honorable High Courts. Despite that, it is very unfortunate because it is said that Caesar's wife has to be above board, but she is not. Such a huge amount of the money, unaccounted money lying in the house, definitely it raises finger against the integrity of the judge. And this again raises a question mark on the system we are having for appointment of the judges of the High Court. We need to relook and revisit the existing procedure for appointment to the judges of the High Court and Supreme Court as well. The collegium system, I'm not saying that it is that bad, but we need to further strengthen the system, this collegium system, so that we may get the antecedent of the judges in advance. And the most important thing is that let us not see the affiliation of the judge, which party he belongs. Let us see his integrity, his capability, his acumen, legal acumen. And purely on the basis of subjective, let it not be on the basis of the subjective satisfaction of the collegium member.
Absolutely.
Let it be the objectively assessed. Let the integrity of a judge, the capability of a judge,
right, sir,
his sincerity towards the institution,
right,
has to be gathered when he was in bar.
Right, sir.
So all these informations must weigh in the mind of the collegium before recommending his name for elevation to the bench. So these are the things which needs to be looked into. It has further damaged the image of the judiciary.
Absolutely, of course. It's the question about the faith in the judiciary. Absolutely, sir. And there should be transparency in the process. Absolutely, Muzaffar Iqbal Khan, thank you so much for joining us with your take and your insights on that story. Viewers, shift our focus to what happened in Rajya Sabha today. It's Home Minister Amit Shah making a big statement, talking tough on terror. He took on the previous Congress-led UPA government over its handling of the country's security, both internal and external security, external matters affecting security, and saying that Narendra Modi government has got legacy security issues in Kashmir, in the northeast, and of course the red terror problem as well. Now, speaking in Rajya Sabha over a discussion on the working of the Ministry of Home Affairs, Amit Shah said that the Modi government has zero tolerance towards terrorism, and in fact he also went on to say that India will be Maoist free by 2026. He has vowed that on the floor of the House. He has spoken very tough on terror and also said that terrorists today are shot down and buried, not glorified in the valley. Listen in.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी के आने के बाद आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति प्रधानमंत्री की है। हमारे आने के बाद भी हमले हुए, उरी पर हुआ, पुलवामा पर हुआ। पहले हमले होते थे, कुछ नहीं होता था, कोई कुछ नहीं बोलता था, जवाब नहीं दिए जाते थे और लोग भूल जाते थे। दिल्ली के अखबारों में कोने में कहीं छपता था, आज 7 लोग शहीद हो गए, मारे गए, बम धमाका हुआ, मगर कोई संवेदना तक समाप्त हो जाए वहां तक चीजें लिंगरिंग रहती गई, लिंगरिंग रहती गई, लिंगरिंग रहती। मोदी जी के आने के बाद उरी और पुलवामा में हमला हुआ, 10 ही दिन में पाकिस्तान के घर में घुसकर सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक और एयर स्ट्राइक कर जवाब दिया।
And it's latest development coming in Disha Salian-Sushant Singh Rajput double murder case. The storm, of course, is only picking up steam. The matter is picking up steam now. The Maha Vikas Aghadi also has rallied in support for Aaditya Thackeray, the man in question. The Aghadi has accused the BJP of raising the case in a bid to obfuscate and divert public attention from the larger pressing issues plaguing Maharashtra. Take a look at this report.
As the sensational revelations and news breaks in the Disha Sushant double murder case blew up on the face of Aaditya Thackeray, the latter found more support from the Maha Vikas Aghadi. The Aghadi came out in support of the former Maharashtra minister, accusing the ruling Mahayuti using the case as a distraction to hide its governance failures. Speaking in defense of Thackeray Jr., NCP SP MLA Rohit Pawar questioned the timing of the plea filed at the Bombay High Court in connection with the double homicide case. Rohit claimed that the case was being deliberately raked up to divert public attention from the larger issues that the state is grappling with. The NCP SP MLA accused the BJP of invoking the case to extract electoral capital in the upcoming Mumbai civic votes and the Bihar Assembly elections next year.
सिर्फ यहाँ पे बिहार का इलेक्शन है और बम्बई का इलेक्शन है। अभी दिशा सालियन को आपने वापस जिंदा किया, उसका इस्तेमाल करोगे, नाम का सुशांत सिंह राजपूत का नाम का इस्तेमाल करोगे और इलेक्शन होने के बाद दोनों को भूल जाओगे।
So the latest update is that, viewers, that Bombay High Court Registry has accepted the petition filed by Disha Salyan's father that seeks arrest and interrogation of Aaditya Thackeray. We have Disha Salyan's father's lawyer, also Mr. Nilesh Oja, on the broadcast. Sir, it's a big development, and tell us more about this petition that has been accepted by the Bombay High Court that seeks the arrest and interrogation of Aaditya Thackeray, sir.
Pardon? आपका सवाल क्या है मैम?
सर, दिस इज ऑफ कोर्स अ बिग डेवलपमेंट। सर, आप हमें जरा बताइए इसके बारे में, जो जिस तरह से ये पिटीशन जो है, ये याचिका जो है वो एक्सेप्ट कर ली गई है, स्वीकार कर ली गई है कोर्ट द्वारा। सर, इस पर थोड़ा सा और आप प्रकाश डाल सके तो।
हाँ, यस, रजिस्ट्री में जो ऑब्जेक्शन रहते टेक्निकल ऑब्जेक्शंस वगैरह, दैट हैज बीन रिमूव्ड और रजिस्ट्री ने उनको स्टैम्प नंबर दे दिया जो आपको प्रोवाइड कर दिया गया है। नाउ द प्रोसेस इज दैट कि अभी रजिस्ट्री या तो डायरेक्ट खुद होके मैटर लिस्ट कर देगी बेंच पे डायरेक्ट आ जाएगा हियरिंग के लिए। और हमने अभी आज हम नोटिस सर्विस कर रहे हैं कि मंडे को 10:30 को वी आर गोइंग टू मेंशन द केस बिफोर चीफ जस्टिस बेंच।
जी जी नीलेश, जी जी बोलिए बोलिए।
हाँ, फिर उसके बाद में फिर चीफ जस्टिस डेट देंगे, कौन से डेट पे हियरिंग होगा उस दिन बोर्ड पे आएगा।
जी बिल्कुल नीलेश जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। व्यूअर्स, दैट्स द बिग अपडेट वी हैव. सो इट्स ओनली trouble mounting. It's legal trouble that's mounting for Aditya Thackeray in the Disha Salyan murder case. Quickly shifting our focus to Karnataka, where we saw dramatic visuals coming in. Now, what started as the whispers of a Karnataka minister being honey-trapped has spiraled into a full-blown controversy, with claims that nearly 48 political leaders, including central figures, have fallen victim to this kind of political trapping. Karnataka Cooperative Minister K.N. Rajanna has admitted that there are at least 48 MLAs that have been in both the Houses of States, at least there have been attempts made to honey trap them. Viewers, we'll get you more on that. I think my colleague, or we have in fact more updates coming in on that story. We shift our focus to Bihar as well right now, because Nitish Kumar, the Chief Minister, is in soup right now. There's a video of Nitish Kumar where he is, where everybody on the stage, it's a sports event, he is standing on stage, everybody is standing because the national anthem is being played, but Nitish Kumar, the Chief Minister, is seen giggling, he's seen laughing, speaking, fidgeting, and you see the other officers trying to tell him to just calm down and not say anything. Now, RJD has raised questions on the mental state of Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, also saying that he has, it is a shameful act that he has insulted national anthem. Listen in to what the RJD is saying. We have Mrityunjay Tiwari reacting to this. So we have Mrityunjay Tiwari of the RJD speaking to Republic TV on this story. तिवारी जी, यहाँ पर बहुत बड़ा बयान सामने आया तेजस्वी जी से भी, और राबड़ी देवी जी भी कह रही हैं कि ये सीएम के तौर पे जो उन्होंने किया है वो शर्मिंदगी की बात है और उनको रिजाइन करना चाहिए। राबड़ी देवी जी ने तो बोला है कि उनके बेटे को ही बन जाना चाहिए सीएम। ये बहुत काफी तीखी प्रतिक्रिया आ रही है आरजेडी से।
देखिए, हम आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री जी का पूरा सम्मान करते हैं और श्री तेजस्वी जी ने भी कहा कि हम मुख्यमंत्री जी का पूरा सम्मान करते हैं, लेकिन हम राष्ट्रगान का अपमान नहीं सह सकते। ये राष्ट्रगान का जिस तरह से आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने अपमान किया है, अब ये बता रहा है अब उनकी मानसिक स्थिति बिल्कुल ही गड़बड़ा गई है। और एक कल का वाकया नहीं, इसके पहले भी आपने देखा होगा कई सार्वजनिक जगहों पर कार्यक्रमों में उनके अचेता अवस्था का प्रमाण मिलता है। तो ये बिहार जैसे प्रदेश के मुखिया हैं, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री हैं, और जिस हालात में वो राज्य चला रहे हैं इसका दंश बिहार झेल रहा, और बिहार की फजियत हो रही है, बिहार मजाक का पात्र बन गया है। ये बिहार के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी को पद छोड़ देना चाहिए, एक सेकंड भी अब वो मुख्यमंत्री बनने के लायक नहीं है, उनकी स्थिति नहीं है। हमारा स्पष्ट मानना है कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा था लाडले सीएम है, तो आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी राष्ट्रगान के अपमान पर चुप क्यों हैं? और जो लोग भी इसका बचाव कर रहे हैं वो भी दोषी हैं। ये कानूनी तौर पर जुर्म है, इसका जुर्माना होता है, इसमें सजा का प्रावधान है। तो आदरणीय नीतीश कुमार जी अब किसी भी परिस्थिति में मुख्यमंत्री पद पर बने रहने के लायक।
All right, viewers, we are shifting our focus to Karnataka, where we see that there is, today there were dramatic visuals that were coming in from Karnataka Assembly. We saw at least 18 BJP MLAs who were suspended over creating ruckus in the Assembly for the honey trap row. They were literally dragged out by the marshals, and in fact, there are big allegations that involves at least 48 to 50 MLAs about honey trap, and this is a big startling revelation or claim made by K.N. Rajanna, who is the Karnataka Cabinet Minister. We spoke to BJP's Ashok Gowda on the same. Listen in. In fact, we was we will be covering that story and getting more updates, but we are falling short of time, and that's all we could pack in this edition of 6 Stories at 6 for you. We'll be right back with more breaking news. Stay tuned.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
So I would